ODBC architecture in Java database connectivity. Here you can see ODBC architecture. An open database connectivity. ODBC is a programming interface from Microsoft that provides a common language for Windows application to access database on a network. ODBC is a C-based interface to a SQL-based database system. It provides a consistent interface for communicating with the database and for accessing database metadata, information about the database system, vendor, and how the tables, views, and data are stored. A client can connect to a database and manipulate it in a standard way. ODBC began as a PC standard, and it has nearly become an industry standard. Vendors provide specific drivers or bridges, the so-called ODBC bridge to their particular database management system. For example, to access an ODBC-based database system from a Java client, you may use the JDBC ODBC bridge developed by Sun Microsystems and Mirant, now Serena Software. Therefore, you can use the JDBC ODBC bridge to access databases that support ODBC. For example, you can use the JDBC ODBC bridge to access Microsoft Access databases. According to Microsoft ODBC programmer reference, the ODBC architecture has 4 components. Applications performs processing and calls ODBC functions to submit a SQL statement and retrieve result. Driver manager loads and unloads drivers on behalf of an application. Process ODBC function calls or passes them to a driver. Driver processes ODBC function calls, submits a SQL request to a specific data source, and returns results to the application. If necessary, the driver modifies an application's request so that the request conforms to syntax supported by the associated DBMS. Data source consists of the data the user wants to access and its associated operating system, DBMS, and network platform, if any, used to access DBMS. This figure shows an ODBC architecture and relationship between those 4 components. ODBC is a set of function calls based on the SQL access group SAG function set for utilizing a SQL database system, backend system. The SAG set implements the basic functionality of dynamic SQL. Embedded SQL commands can be translated to a ODBC. With the ODBC, Microsoft extended the basic SAG function set to include functions for accessing the database catalog and for controlling and determining the capabilities of ODBC drivers and their sources, backends. Microsoft also has refined and fleshed out the SAG proposal. Microsoft applies the ODBC driver manager for its operating systems, Windows 95, Windows NT. The ODBC driver manager coordinates access to ODBC drivers and their associated data sources. Although SQL is well suited for managing databases, it was not designed to be a general application language. Rather, it was intended to be used only as a means of communicating with databases. Unfortunately, you cannot easily write a program that will run on multiple platforms. Even though the database connectivity standardization issue has been largely resolved. For example, if you wrote a database client in C++, you might have to totally rewrite the client for another platform. That is, your PC version would not run on a machine top. There are two reasons for this. First, C++ as a language is not portable because C++ is not completely specified. For example, how many bits does an int data type hold. Second, and more important, the support libraries such as network access and G frameworks are different on each platform. Another problem with ODBC is that its interface is complicated and takes time to learn to use well. JDBC eliminated these problems and introduced a platform-independent solution to a relational database access. Because of its poor performance and lack of transaction support, the JDBC ODBC bridge driver is recommended only for experimental use or when no other alternative is available. Here you can see application is connected to driver manager via ODBC API. Driver manager is connected to drivers via ODBC API. Here drivers are connected to data sources. Now this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for watching it.